Yeah. Moment of silence. Now scream to your lungs, high pitch. I'm all about the skrilla. Well, I guess that's about it. The root of happiness, absent for duty. I practice absent.
All right. Welcome back to the Boyz to Gems podcast. This will be episode 2. First off, I just want to say thank everybody for the love and support that we got, especially the feedback and all the constructive criticism on things we should change and help. Like, bro, it really helps out. And again, appreciate y'all supporting. I'm Josh, aka Nixon. I'll let y'all go around the room before we get started in it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm D Braxton.
All right. Hughley, Calhoun.
Oh, what's up?
Yourself. It's y'all first time on the pod.
They call me Hughley. What's going on? Thank you for having me.
All right, Calhoun.
Like you just said, Calhoun, Gary Calhoun, of Sibling Thing Podcast. Shout out to you boys. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, shout out it. All right, so the first one we're going to get into is going to be kind of heavy, but it's a topic that we wanted to talk about last week, but didn't have enough time. Didn't want to take too much of your time. So it's going to be about mental health. I know I'm going to tell a small little personal testimony probably towards the end. I'm going to let everybody else go first. And then why is it such a stigma when mental health is brought up, especially in the Black community? So anybody want to start off with it?
Well, in my opinion, I feel like overall, it's a stigma because a lot of us, obviously everybody has skeletons, right? And I don't feel like a lot of people are comfortable with honestly airing out their skeletons, especially to a stranger. And the accountability that comes with mental health isn't something that everybody wants to approach. Like you being honest with yourself and actually dealing with your bad character flaws or understanding your good character flaws and understanding like ego and all that. So I just feel like that's where the stigma comes from. And then in the Black community more specifically, it's like we all taught, I feel like, to keep home stuff at home. Like, so you taught to like bury everything. Like, oh, if you got, your mama Black, daddy Black, it's like, oh, everything that goes on between us goes on between us. So I feel like that's just a common thing in our culture. So that goes over into mental health, in my opinion.
I don't have a whole lot for this one, but yeah, I would just say I guess I would agree with what Hughley said. So yeah, in our community, it's just always been kind of a thing. People always find it as a weakness to kind of talk about your vulnerabilities and things that hurt you. Because I remember I saw a meme on and I low-key reposted it because it was funny as hell to me, but it was on Instagram, and it was like a dude washing the dishes, and he was like, "Mom, I'm depressed," and then the mama was like, "Well, depress them dishes." You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of as funny as that was. Because to think about it, because that's a normal thing for Black parents to say. Anything you say that Black parents quit to give you a little counter one. So you know what I'm saying? As funny as that was, that's kind of how it is, man. When you talk about stuff that, oh, I'm depressed, or oh, this made me feel a certain way. I mean, no offense to any other culture, but a lot of times in the Black community, they like depression, suicide, any of that. It's always, oh, that's white people stuff, or you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, obviously that's not true, because I mean, it's clear as day. It's clear as day these days that mental health it affects everybody. So. You know what I mean? Just it's not a white people thing. It's not a other people thing. It's an everybody thing. So, but unfortunately for our community, we often look at it as a sign of weakness.
So. TJ?
I ain't got nothing on this topic.
Okay.
Except, just taking care of your mental health.
Yeah. Got anything you want to add, my brother?
I guess I'll just piggyback off of what Brax said. As far as being a weakness, you know what I'm saying. And then in our households, in my household personally, it was we just always stuffed everything down. You know what I'm saying. We don't talk about nothing. We just drink about it and move on. You know what I'm saying, or do what we do and just leave it as is. You know what I'm saying. It was like you don't get a chance to express how you felt. You know what I'm saying? And I know for me personally, with mental health and actually like being diagnosed with the major depression and all of that a couple years back, it's definitely been a hell of a journey. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, I definitely felt I felt weak for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And just you know, not knowing. I mean, because I never knew how to exactly express how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I knew how to express how I was happy, but it was other stuff that was going on. It was just like, bro, I cannot put a finger on like what this feeling is and like what the hell is going on and why am I feeling this way? You know what I'm saying? But we were never. I mean, I was never taught how to, you know, deal with any emotion other than like happiness. You know what I'm saying? Or anger, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just one of those things in our community that just it's not normalized and it needs to be normalized. You know what I'm saying? So the upcoming generation, such as our kids and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They can be in tune with their emotions and feelings and be able to describe how they're feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want my daughter to be able to come up to me and be like, Dad, something's not feeling right, and then we can sit there and assess, you know what I'm saying, like what's making her feel that way and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and just making it comfortable in our households, you know what I'm saying. We gotta break those generational curses, you know what I'm saying. Shit, that's just my little 2 cents on it.
No, I feel it. This topic, I love talking about it just because mental health, I feel, changed my life and how I viewed it. Because like you and bro was saying, like I definitely had that same stigma. Was like, you know, suicide, all that was just taught as white people stuff. Especially me growing up in Mississippi and dealing with a lot of things that we've all probably had in our childhood that was told was normal. And it wasn't until you start talking with other people about their childhood and you realize, well, maybe this wasn't so normal. I'll say I really had well, I'm gonna say first battle, but like kind of the battle what made me like come to terms with mental health was when I tried to kill myself in 2011. And that's when luckily I had friends, all y'all that was all at Lackland, and it like helped me in the time because like I said, it wasn't one of those things that mental health I learned that it's not like on the movies when people are like, you think they plan it out for years and like, oh, if this happened, it was kind of one of those spur of the moment things. Although I see it now was the dumbest thing I could have ever done. But at that time, like, that's all like, you couldn't tell me. Like in my mind, I had figured like, oh, my family will get this money. If they got money, they'll be taken care of. Like I wasn't thinking about my daughter at the time at all. Cause in mine, I was going through something that I felt like my relationship was ending. I felt I couldn't be there for my daughter, which that's not possible. You don't have to be with somebody to be there for your child. But at the time, you couldn't tell me that because I was like, oh, I'm a failure. And all I wanted to do was sleep. But I couldn't sleep because I had been diagnosed with anxiety. So all these thoughts are constantly racing. And as you know, with mental health, your mind like is your biggest enemy because you're going to go against everything you have to say. Like you can be like, oh, everything's good. But in your mind is like, but is it really though? And so I just wanted to sleep. And at first it came where, oh, I'm just going to take 2 Tylenol PMs. Oh, I'm still can't sleep. Then you take 4 more. Then you're like, you know what? What if I can just sleep forever? But I did tell myself, if I wake up after I took the whole bottle, if I wake up, I'm gonna be totally different. And from that day, I've like to think I've been different. Doesn't mean that I haven't had mental health struggles. Doesn't mean any of that. Because I do go to a therapist and I talk. I do take medication. The biggest stigma I think that came with mental health was medication. Because in my mind, I was telling myself, why can't you be like my friends, for instance? Like, because I can only see what y'all portray. And to me, everyone looked happy but me. So it was kind of like, why do you need medication to be happy? Like, that's weird. Like, you're a weirdo. And a doctor most recently, just broke it down to me and said, it's kind of like when you break your leg, like you're given crutches. That's not saying you're going to need those crutches forever, but they're just to help you improve and get better. So to me, that's my take on it. And I love talking about it just because I want people to know that it can happen to you and don't feel like you've been defeated or things like that. So I try to bring awareness to any way I can. And me being in the military, I take every opportunity I can to talk just to show the younger generation, especially because now, I mean, social media is a big thing, and if you don't get a lot of likes and this person, like people use a lot of social media for validation. So that's kind of my thing. And I was thinking to something last night, which made me think because I knew we was going to talk about this topic, and it was something you posted, DJ. It's probably like a couple years ago, and you posted saying that make sure you check up on your strong friends. And as ignorant as it sounds, like that hit me so different because, bro, I would have never thought that something would ever be wrong with you. Although that's ignorant, I see, but it's kind of like, I'm like, oh, this DJ, he good. Like this, like he's one of those strong friends, like a mentality. So it would never hit like cross my mind to be like, hey, check on DJ's mental health. It's kind of like if anybody was like, hey, you talk DJ, I was like, no, bro, good though. Like it would never, like it's ignorant thinking like like does that like how does that affect you, like to that you even have to remind people that? Because like I said, bro, I've always seen you like with that strong personality, TJ with that strong personality. I just thought it was like a Detroit thing. So I was just like, oh, they don't like talking. They don't like hugs. So
man, nah, it's so, man, it's kind of hard to explain, bro. Like for me, I was just kind of raised in a like a really thick-skinned type of situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know exactly how I grew up, so I'm not gonna give the full long because it's a long story. But for the most part, you know, for a large percentage of my life, I grew up with all men in the house. I mean, besides my mom. You know what I'm saying? And then when I, you know, went to high school, pretty much I grew up in the house and it was all women. So like, you know what I'm saying? I picked up stuff from both ends, and it, you know, at times I was always like, I'm not saying that I was the one everybody needed, but it was just always easy for me to kind of, you know, be that person. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think just, you know, watching, you know, although I didn't have my father growing up, you know, I had my grandfather, and I had, you know, a lot of uncles and cousins and stuff that, you know, helped raise me. So I just always wanted to like kind of mimic the people that, you know, um that I looked up to. So, you know, it helps me a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you know, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, you know, I'm used to being the guy that everybody can have a conversation with and be strong with and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that stuff a lot of times it's not even what I'm going through, it's what everybody else going through. So, and it become draining because then I have my situation and then I see everybody going through their situation. And the whole time I'm sitting here trying to figure out their situation and not even trying to figure out mine. And sometimes that even become a crutch because, you know, I get caught up in what everybody else going on purposely so I can get, you know, escape from my own issues and stuff. So, it's definitely something, you know what I'm saying, that you just kind of, I don't want to say it's in you, but it just, you know, it becomes a part of you, you know, I guess in my, you know, journey of growing up or however you would put that. But I don't know, man. You know, at the same time, you know, I've grown to realize like, you know, you gotta I read a book. It was called Cry Like a Man. That's what it's called. Cry Like a Man. It's a religious book, and I'm not super religious to be honest, but you know, reading it made me realize, you know, some of my flaws in all of that. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that because like just crying and stuff. Growing up, I mean, I was probably the emotional one, but like as I got older, like I said, I was around a lot of different type of personalities, so emotions became a little bit less of my thing, crying and all that. But then I realized as I got older, like that stuff started to affect me because it started to make me angry. You know what I'm saying? I used to, instead of crying, I mean, if you make me to the point where I'm emotional and now I'm mad and ready to fight, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So it just made me realize like, hey, you know, even then, like even a strong person that people would think that I am, I mean, I break sometimes. And that's kind of what I was getting at. I wasn't really, for me, I've never like I've dealt with depression or whatever. I mean, I think we all have at some point, but it never affected me to the point where I wanted to not be here. But I have gone through things where I was just like, man, like I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's what a lot of people you know what I'm saying, whether you're suicidal or not, but when you going through something, you just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And even when you understand that, You know what I'm saying? You understand that and you try to help other people. Like, you don't realize it when you going through it. You know what I'm saying? When you going through it, you can give people all the good advice in the world. But when you going through something, like, you forget what everybody else, you know what I'm saying, going through. So, you know what I'm saying? That's been that was my thing as being the strong person, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, even then I go through my things, but I've just learned to take a ride, hop in the car, talk through it, talk to myself, you know what I'm saying? Think about, like, hey, is this worth being upset about? And then I happen to be a sympathizer and empathizer with people. So I always, even when somebody do me wrong, I'm sitting there thinking of 1,000 ways on why that person didn't mean it. So it's hard for me to stay. Sometimes I hold grudges, and anybody that know me, when I do, it's pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? But when I don't, man, I see TJ over there shaking his head. But when I do go through things, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't hold grudges. But when I do, it's pretty bad. But that's because well, when it's for the most part, I don't, because I talk myself through it a thousand times.
Right.
But yeah.
I was about to say another thing that I was going to say, because it's crazy, because it felt like I was living two different lives, like when it comes to mental health. Because like I felt like people looked at me as a strong one back home in Mississippi. And like then with my friends, I knew like, hey, I'm going to them for things. So, and I knew I couldn't go to my family because it would feel away if you just told me you're going through all this and then I responded like, hey, so am I, I'm doing this. Like it just would come off different. So, and what my therapist told me, and that's why I realized therapy helped me, is I can go, I can dump all this stuff on this person and walk out and I'm reloaded, because she was saying basically, hey, you're kind of like the emotional trash can for your family. Like you're getting filled up, but at some point in time, you're going to overflow. And if you don't let that out and you don't talk to people, then it's going to bottle up and it's going to explode. So I'm not saying go talk to a therapist, but talk to somebody is the end of this. What I have to say.
But I mean, to go off of that though, like I feel like it's definitely talk to somebody for sure.
Yes.
As far as like talking to a therapist, I feel like that is a little bit sometimes more beneficial, or just indifferently beneficial, just because like your friends and your family, yeah, you want to talk to them because they can relate, they know you and stuff like that. But this is like a paid professional who is paid to get dumped on.
Yep.
If that's accurate, you see what I'm saying? So like you dumping all that emotion, all that the ill will feelings, all the negative feelings, all the crying, all the everything that you can onto this person, and you don't feel guilty at the end of the day
Yep.
for doing that. Because I ain't gonna lie, speaking me personally, going to therapy like every week or so, you know what I'm saying, every couple of weeks, it's better for me, because when I talk to one of y'all or talk to like my moms or my pops or anything like that, like it's hard to not get into a mode where I feel like I'm like complaining,
Yeah.
where I feel like I'm whining, like, oh, like why are my problems that much deeper than y'all's? You know, because that's one thing I realized that was a good thing and a bad thing is like everybody goes through shit. You see what I'm saying? So the hard thing that I had to deal with is like, well, what makes your shit deeper than everybody else shit? So it's kind of like for you to have this thought, it's like, dang, well, yeah, everybody go through shit. So that made me feel better, like, oh, I'm not the only one. But at the same time, it's like, since everybody going through, do I really want to dump that on y'all? Because it's going to be comparative. But when you got an unbiased ear with a therapist, it's kind of like they not going to compare. They just going to help you talk out your issues. And it's all about you in more of a selfish manner to help you be better. And that's what I like about therapy in a way.
Yeah. And to add to that, talking to your people is good, but the reason why I think it's best to talk to a therapist, and this is coming from somebody who hasn't been to a therapist, a therapist or a psychiatrist or whichever one you go to, they go to school and they learn how to pick up on certain cues and things like that, and know how to diffuse you in a certain way that although your family and friends mean well, some of the stuff they might say, do, it just might be unhealthy for you, and which could also help lead you down the wrong path. So I think a paid professional is most important because they know certain things and they have been taught a certain, you know what I'm saying, things to pick up from you and certain things to give to you to help you, you know what I'm saying, figure it out. So yeah, it's definitely most beneficial to talk to a therapist. But if you're not there yet, by all means, you know what I'm saying, talking to somebody is better than talking to nobody.
Right, for sure.
All right. So basically, ending this topic is make sure you talk to somebody. Preferably a therapist.
Okay, so this I think this gonna be a fun topic. So let me just make sure, you know what I mean. We make sure
It's a
I
part of my
bring
mental
it.
health.
Hey,
Bro.
whenever somebody say
Yeah,
fun topic,
man. So one of the hot topics right now in society, social media, and all that is gender roles. So like, what I mean by gender roles are like, should the woman be the one that cooks, or should the man be the one that takes out the trash, or should the man be the one, in older times, the one who pays all the bills, things like that. And so my question to y'all is, how do y'all think gender roles play out in society now compared to, what I'm saying, back in the day? And you can answer that whatever way you want to. So, do y'all think gender roles have changed, and or have they changed for the better or worse? Are they progressive? So like, are gender roles, the way we deal with them now, are they better for society? Like, are they helping us along, not putting women in a certain situation or not putting men in a certain situation? Are they fair? You know what I'm saying? And do y'all follow them? So, and I mean, you don't got to answer that in no type of order. You know what I'm saying? Just give me what y'all think. I'll probably go last on this one, if you don't mind, brother.
hey brother, do your
Just to
thing,
kind
man.
of get my,
I'm gonna start it off. Like my biggest thing is, as far as the gender roles, I do think they are progressive because you look in the military, they have a woman that's now one of the Green Berets or something like that of that term. So I would have never thought I would see that. But I also think like it's still a double standard. I seen a meme yesterday where a guy on World Star was talking about like how you should never move into a woman's house because you will never earn her respect of being able to be the man of the house because it's her house. So I think that's totally different. Like women wouldn't have to go to that. Like you would still get that same respect. Like if you moved to my house, even though we just boyfriend girlfriend, like it wouldn't come a term where I'd be like, hey, or try to belittle you. I do think women belittle men more if they fall down. If I'm down right now, women will let you know. Especially I could be sitting and chilling, and I would feel like a woman if it's not in a situation where like you're not bringing nothing to the table. Like I don't think that can happen in today's society. A man would have to bring something to the table, and I think a woman could not bring something to the table, and it's okay. But I think if a man does not bring nothing to a table, like I would feel like I'm not talking about me personally, but I would feel knowing how I feel like if I wasn't bringing nothing to the table, I would already be beating myself down. So, because I feel like I would be harder on myself, and then to just be reminded, because like I said, women when they mad, boy, they'll cut deep.
yeah, they
they, they
they
cut
Real
deep.
deep.
definitely stab you
Don't
right
bleed.
there.
Hey, this is
Twist it.
yeah,
Twist it.
hey. So
Twist
I
that mom.
do. So I mean, I think it's progressive, but I think it's like women. Like I'm all about empowering women, but I mean, it's crazy the jabs they throw when it's like, yo, we on y'all side. Like we get it. Like I want you to make the same amount of money to me. I want you to make more money to me. That's cool. Like I'm cool as long as the bills get paid. But as far as me paying all the bills, no, that's dead. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna need that 50 split. Hey,
All right, so before we go to the next person, then matter of fact, nah, let's continue, because we're gonna come back to that 50-50 split thing though.
and
But
I'm
I
joking.
mean,
yeah, no, I got you. I got you. But I'm still curious on people's thought process
Yeah.
on it.
in my opinion, I feel as if in a totally respectful way. I feel as if
It's usually always disrespect coming.
I have to put the disclaimer. I have to put the disclaimer because I don't want no beef, none. But with that being said, in all seriousness, I feel like there's been a societal overcorrection. And what I say by that, I mean, it's like it's been such a detriment to women in history, right? Like women have always been like under men as a whole, like historically, and not saying that that's right at all, but through them grinding and clawing to a role where they're doing everything now, like when it's like breadwinners, they smart, they, you know what I'm saying, like they doing everything that they can. It's to a point where a lot of women, not saying all women, but a lot of women have a mentality was like, okay, I've gotten to this point where I could do everything a man can do and better in a lot of cases. Why do I need you type thing? So when you have men that are good men that actually don't need that type of energy, it kind of puts them into a place where it's like they don't really have a purpose as a whole. Now granted, like when you're a strong man, you kind of know your self-worth and your value and stuff like that. So you would be able to identify that and be like, well, I don't need that, and you go with somebody else. But I feel like a lot of times we get into this thing to where, like, and I was listening to a sermon with T.D. Jakes, it's kind of like, not to go too deep into the Bible, but it's like men have lost their place in the household, because back in the day, it was kind of like what Braxton said earlier, like, oh, men take out the trash, men do this, men do that, men do this. And then now women are doing that and they're more independent, which is good, but they've kind of taken that away from us. But I don't really feel like it was on purpose. It was just more of an overcorrection. And I feel like it has a negative result on men as a whole, to the point where they like, well, shoot, I don't really know. So it ain't really no gender role at all now, society wise. And I feel like to answer Braxton's question for earlier, it's like, I don't know whether that's really negative or positive. I think it just depends on the individual, man and woman. Like if you're able to approach the relationship in a way where it's like, I'm cool with Shawty doing everything, and I could just sit here and be house dad or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you cool with that within yourself, I feel like it ain't nothing wrong with that. But I feel like when you start getting into negative feelings towards each other based upon your perception of what a gender role is, then that's when I feel like it's starting to be toxic. It's like, well, yeah, I'm the man, but why are you yelling at me because I'm crying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's kind of messed up. Like, is it and if, you know, when I have a son, it's like I want him to know, like, oh shoot, if you cry, it's totally fine. And if you mad, it's totally fine. Like, to understand your emotions within your gender. And that's totally okay. So to wrap it up, I feel like, yeah, it just depends on the individual, but yeah, gender roles kind of have switched completely. Like, for sure.
Well, I do think some gender roles are needed, like for men, you know, like taking the trash out, simple stuff like that.
Hey, can I ask you a question though, real quick, before you get deep into it? If I take the trash out, can she put the bag in, or do I gotta put the bag in?
Yeah, no, she can put the bag in.
All right, man, I just want to clear this up.
Yeah, that's just my thought process on it.
Pretty good.
Hey.
Pretty good.
It's a good question.
Good question. Good question.
Well, no, go ahead, bro. I just wanted to see what y'all thought about, because everything else wasn't about my household, but that was, okay?
Just like, I'll take the trash out. Just let y'all know. I don't want
Yeah.
Come back.
I feel you.
Yeah,
You got anything else, TJ?
Yeah,
No, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Calhoun?
Gender roles are definitely, I mean, they've changed a lot, but I mean, some women are really forced into that, you know what I'm saying? As far as with having to raise and build households by themselves and stuff. I know for me personally, I was raised in a single mother. My mom played mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? So, but, and then I've always just seen the woman as dominant, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, you know? And, but when when I brought that to I didn't bring that into my own household though. You know what I'm saying? As far as like when I was married, she didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in the military. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, just make sure that all the bills get paid. I will make the money. Just make sure that everything is paid on time and stuff like that. And, you know, and then she cooked, took care of the kid. But we did have to where when she did cook, I definitely did the dishes. You know what I'm saying? I cleaned up. I tried to help out where I could. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, being at the house with the kid all day, it's a tough job for them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women, you know, so I just tried to help out where I could. You know, I wasn't perfect by far at all, but I helped out where I definitely could. You know what I'm saying? And then, but yeah, but just seeing my mom so dominant, you know what I'm saying? I definitely learned early that women are very independent. You know what I'm saying? And they can be very independent. And you know, and yeah, it's a good thing though. You know what I'm saying? Because they can take care of stuff, but we also take care of stuff ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know for me, I'm, you know, I done been through a few things, so I'm really just now really coming into myself at the age of 30 and really figuring out, you know what I'm saying, my roles in this life. You know, but the gender roles have, you know, they definitely changed, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's negative or positive, but it's just definitely different from the times, you know what I'm saying? And it's so much more that can go into that because of what's going on in today's society as far as gender roles. And I'm pretty sure y'all know exactly what I'm saying. But stuff is definitely different. You know what I'm saying? They definitely trying to take away a lot of, you know, masculinity. But that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get canceled.
No, I'm not trying to get canceled.
He's trying to get us up out of there quick.
Oh, you trying to take us to the next level?
I'm just being honest, bro.
Okay, I see how you coming.
Honest, bro.
Wait, Brett.
Hey, can you shoot from the sideline?
All right, I'm done.
Let me ask y'all a question though, like real quick before y'all go on. So, as a overall, is everybody comfortable with the fact of a woman may not like need a man at all, like being with a woman that absolutely doesn't need you?
So I was about to say, when y'all give me a chance, I'm gonna give y'all my part.
I just wanted that question answered real quick.
So for me, now that, like I said, I've learned myself, I am. But back then, like from probably to maybe 4 years ago, oh no. Yeah. Like I need you. I need to know you need me here,
right?
Or else I don't think I'd be able to function. Like I don't think I would have been able to do that. Like nah.
Guaranteed. What about you, Calhoun?
Well, I know. I guess like Nixon said back then, like most definitely, like nah, you need me. you are nothing without me, fam. Like no, you can't do this by yourself. This is all me. You know what I'm saying? But no, I definitely don't feel like that today though. You know what I'm saying? Like I would, you know, I want my girl to be able to, you know, build up her own business, stuff like that. And I'm backing up, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind being a hype man, you know what I'm saying? But we got to keep that same energy towards each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's hype each other up. Let's get this money together. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I do not mind her having her own, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, real.
What about you, TJ?
I definitely need a woman that needs me. I
feel it. Hey,
I need to feel needed.
Hey, right. Brother, stand on that. Hey, I feel you.
In what way though? Like you mean needed, like as far as like being
no, not from a financial aspect.
It's like because I was gonna say that's petty.
No,
he's talking like on the affection side, right?
Yeah, like some kind of way.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody. Okay, I thought y'all was just talking about like. I thought when we was talking.
No, you need me.
I thought you was getting it.
If I'm not here, this phone bill not getting paid.
All right, so I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
So how I feel about I ain't gonna with gender roles, right? So I think one of the biggest issue with gender roles is a lot of people want their cake and eat it too, right? So for instance, I see this a lot on social media where everybody asks this question like, "Oh, if you living with a man, would you be comfortable if he's asking you for half on the bills or whatever?" And it's actually kind of like crazy how many people say like, "Nah, if I wanted a roommate and this and that, blah blah blah, then I could just be bad. I'll be bad all by myself." So I see that a lot, but I'm always of the mind like, well, because then they, how they always try to rationalize it by talking about like their grandparents. Well, my granddad did this, and my mom did this. I mean, and my dad did this or whatever, and I'm always like, well, we live in a different time, right? So, what I'm saying, we live in a time now where, like y'all was just saying, women make, they get the bag too. Our women, statistically, women are still underpaid, but I mean, in a lot of these relationships, women in a lot of ways are making it just as much, if not more. You know what I'm saying? So my only thing is I always say first, well, before I say any of this, first of all, when it's a thing with you and your spouse or girlfriend or whatever the case may be, had a conversation before y'all decide to move into a house together or apartment, any of that. Have a conversation, because that conversation is gonna tell you a whole lot before stuff get weird. Because that was one of the things, I think that's one been the best thing that kind of has held my marriage, and then even when we was living together, was like the conversations we had before we moved in together, because we did it, I guess, the non-biblical way. We was shacking up together. We was, what I'm saying,
Heathen
before we
shackle.
got, yeah, right. we lived together, but we talked about that. We talked about who gonna do what and all that. When we got married, before we got married, we talked about everything. You know what I'm saying, from sex to how often, what's our obligation
Should have
on
wrote this
that,
down.
I'm saying, money, how we gonna go about our money. And then for me, like, I'm blessed with the fact that my wife makes the same amount of money as me. There's been some times where I've made a little bit more, and sometimes where she's made a little bit more, just because of like deployments and stuff like that. But for the most part, we make the same amount. So I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the 50/50s and all that stuff. For me, I always caution anybody, especially if y'all not married. I caution any man, and this is, this might not be well received, but I caution any man, before if you go into a relationship, we just talking about a relationship, and then y'all decide to get a place together or any of that. I caution any man, before you start taking, a majority of the bills, to think about that, because if there's no marriage there, you are putting yourself in a dangerous position to where you might end up like high and dry, because what's keeping her there? I mean, granted, a marriage ain't gonna keep her there either, but it's gonna be a lot harder to walk away from a marriage than it is to walk away from a relationship. And guess who been paying? Like, because I see a lot of dudes try to put on that fake macho mentality, like, oh, ain't no girl that's gonna be living with me gonna pay. I'll do this, I'll pay that. I'm like, okay. And then when she get tired of your ass, what she gonna do? She gonna walk off with that bag she been putting off
To
to
the
the
side.
side,
That Birkin
because
bag.
she don't. Because once again, like you just said earlier, she don't need your ass. You know what I'm saying? She don't need you. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. I'm not saying that you should be like, you should be doing something to have her tied to you, but I'm saying don't handicap yourself either. You know what I'm saying? Now there is situations where, obviously, if your girl make less than you or your man make less than you, y'all should be talking about that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't have a joint account, then yeah, y'all should be talking about those type of things. Is that fair for me to bleed myself while you sitting over there fat, if we not sharing accounts? You know what I'm saying? Is it fair for, what I'm saying, you to have to pay this amount when I make $100,000 and you make 40? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to have those conversations. But you know what I'm saying, in a lot of cases, I'm not, no offense to anybody, but a lot of women that I'm seeing, like, you want an extended version of your daddy. and I'm not your daddy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, and then somebody, well, y'all want to be called daddy. You all right, bet. Don't call me daddy no more. Then. If I got, if it costs me for that, if it's gonna cost me for that, don't call me that. We can cut that shit right then and there. Then don't call me that. And they're like, oh, you want a roommate? No, I want a soulmate. I want somebody that's not gonna fucking leech my soul. And then you know what I'm saying. And I feel like because that's in a lot of those situations, which people don't understand. Most of the time, if a man really, really want to pay for everything, you know why? Because he wants to control you. He wants you to feel like you need him. That's why when I was saying when y'all was talking about, you know, I want somebody to need me, I thought y'all was talking about financially. Because I'm like, for me, I don't want to control nobody. You know what I'm saying? I have one child that I have to, you know what I'm saying, watch, control, make sure and even he got to have a certain sense of freedom. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to control nobody. I want somebody that wanted like, shit, we bust the bag down the middle and shit, we vacation in the summer. I don't want to have to, you know, cause shit, it's also this expectation on men to, you know what I'm saying, do a lot of these things. I mean, pay for vacations and stuff like that. Well, shit, if I got to do all that, pay all the bills. I mean, once again, just like how they look at us, like, why do I need you? Shit, why do I need you? You know what I'm saying? I can go on a vacation my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes can go on vacation and go to a beach and there's plenty of sand there. You know what I'm saying? No offense, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I just say, like, you know, we can't have the old school values and then also live a new school mentality. Now, if that has nothing to do with somebody that's a mother and stays home with the children, because that's a job. I'm not gonna say,
Man,
I'm not telling you,
Man,
oh,
that is a
like
full-time
I
job.
yeah, I'm from somebody who did it by myself for 6 months when my wife was deployed. I know for a fact that's a job. So yeah, I'm not expecting too much at all if that's all you doing is sitting at home and taking care of the kid and you know what I'm saying, you know, the dinner and all that stuff is good. I don't got nothing to say on that. That's a job. You doing the shit if not a harder job than me because
facts.
my
Because
son
I
was
wouldn't
running
do it.
me crazy. Yeah, my son was running me crazy when it was just me. So you know, that's the part that I disagree with, where it's like, if we making similar amount of money, you know what I'm saying, then shit, why wouldn't you want to help me out? But then again, I always tell people, hey, if you gotta think about like it's me who shacked up, but I knew what I was getting with, who I was getting with, and all that. Be careful. That's all I can say. Be careful, because if you're gonna take on all that responsibility, bro, look, you're gonna be stressed at some point. You're gonna be stressed. Now, like I said, it's a certain if she picking up the slack, making you feel secure in that, hey, some people they just want to feel that way. They want to if you can afford it without killing yourself. But in a lot of those cases, as much as you want to use your grandfather, or your great grandfather, your dad was cheating on your mama, and your mama ain't leave her. Your mama ain't leave.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking to everybody, but I'm saying the thing is that's why the
How did
dudes
you
be wanting to
know?
control. They be wanting to control because they cheating on it, and in his mind he like, I didn't heard it. I've heard it. Well, she ain't going nowhere. Look, I ain't cheating. Guess what? And guess what? I'm coming with the same energy that you coming with. You know what I mean? So that's my. I mean, now granted, that's just my perspective. I'm not saying every situation is like that, but in a lot of ways, like sometimes you might want to be careful using your granddad, because you got to realize your granddad had 7 kids and 6 of them was by your grandma. You know what I'm saying? So little Uncle June, that ain't really you know what I'm saying? Where he come from?
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say back in the day, they used to have a whole nother family down the block.
Down the block,
And would
yeah,
never
bro.
see each other.
That's the thing. I mean, but they was in their mind. This wasn't right. I'm not saying it was right, but in their mind, they was paying their way. They was paying. I'm like, they like, I paid for this. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? I can do this. I can do that. Not in my house. It's 3 guns in my house. If my wife called me on any of that time, she probably gonna smoke me. I ain't gonna lie. But you know what I'm saying? We also, you know what I'm saying, taking care of each other equally. So doing the dishes, I know as much as, you know, I would love to not have to do the dishes. Sometimes I gotta do them shit. If she actually came to me and be like, dog, I worked all day that I need you to do. I could argue it, but I don't have no leg to stand on. So it's like,
Same.
yeah, that's some of the stuff you gotta deal with. But I mean, it all depends on what you want. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get to a point where you're making 300-400, if I made $400,000 a year, my wife wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would, but the thing is, the reason why, and it wouldn't be on no control shit. It would be because I already know what she coming with. When we first started dating, it was times where we would go out and I pull my wallet out to pay, and she like, nah. But then I figured out her uncles and them always was like, don't have no dude feeling like, you know what I'm saying, you like you owe him something. And I respected that. It didn't, I wasn't asking for it. I still open doors. So gender roles, yeah, I do open doors for women. Yeah, I do, you know what I'm saying, take the trash out when we walking on the road. I make sure I'm on the right side, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. Yeah, I mean, but some people might call that misogynistic. I mean, that's a gender role I live with, you know what I'm saying.
Chivalry is not dead.
Exactly. You know
Not
what I'm
dead.
saying? But misogyny should be, and that's the part. Like some people like a lot. Some women like misogyny when it's to their benefit, and that's the part where I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't come in here talking about I gotta pay all the bills, and then if I'm like, hey, where the food at? You looking at me like, what? What you mean cook? That you want your mama to cook? You're like, dang. So, so I gotta pay everything, and you ain't cooking, and I ain't getting no ass.
No.
All right,
Oh,
man. All right,
gotta
I
go.
see you.
She gotta go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying. But
Hey,
I
question for
probably went
y'all.
on a little too long.
When when should you have the money talk? Like, say for instance, you just start talking. Would you say it's the first date, just so you see where it's going, or like
Yeah.
when should it come up?
I feel like it should come up.
Like
Well,
in the beginning. I just feel like in the beginning, not necessarily first date, but
Okay.
in the beginning,
Like, what's the beginning though? Give me like first date,
first couple
second date.
months.
Okay, first couple months. All right.
I feel like whenever it's the time where your relationship is defined, like you know where it's like going or where y'all think it's going, that's when you should have that talk. Cause like
Money. My bad. Continue. You go ahead.
like I don't feel like it's like, I mean, obviously not first date type stuff, because then you can like, why you talking about money? You
Yeah.
know where y'all at. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you sure you're gonna make it that long type vibe? But
Right.
like that's why I say like you should start that when y'all on the same page about, okay, we trying to go here. Okay, if we trying to go here, what's your opinion on X, Y, and Z? And that's when you start having the conversation.
All right, but
So like I agree with TJ. Like I feel
What
like
you
that
say,
happened around
Calvin?
2 months, like ish, maybe a month. I don't know. Depends on who you are.
Definitely not the first date, but I would definitely say, you know, once the titles come up and stuff like that, you know, once you really established a actual, you my girlfriend, you my, you know what I'm saying? I think that's when, you know, yeah, yeah, few months down the line, once you're out of talking stage and that little,
Yeah, you
you know what
into
I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, and you into that next level, like, okay, I would definitely start bringing that up.
Nixon, what you mean when you say how the money talk? What you mean?
like
On
far
who
as
should pay
the
for what?
finance, like how much you make, like
Oh, asking how much somebody making stuff. Ooh,
Oh, I thought
I
you was
don't
talking
even.
about
Oh, I thought you were saying like,
referring
well,
like paying bills and all that.
well, I
Type
get the
of stuff.
paying
yeah,
bill stuff when y'all together, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
far as like, hey, how much you make, like should that ever come up?
Okay.
Um,
I would.
'cause-
Yeah.
I
My
don't know. That's
bad.
different.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
definitely different. Well, I'm since everybody gave their answer on the one, let me answer that one though first on when y'all should talk about who paying for what. I don't think you should really have that conversation until y'all start talking about owning something mutually. So like
okay.
I wasn't really asking her to pay for nothing like that. I would just picking up on cues. I mean, if you, I'm not even gonna ask you if you that type. I'm just gonna watch. So if every single time, cause like when I was, you know, dating, that was my thing. Like, I mean, it wasn't like no job. I just like to, you know what I'm saying, go out and I'm
yeah,
just, as y'all can see, I like to talk. So I mean, we would go out and chill and all that
yes,
stuff
you
and
do.
eat. Right. Shut up. But yeah, like I'm just not gonna I'm just paying attention to stuff. So we done been on
Yeah,
4, 5, 6 dates, and then you ain't never looked to grab nothing. I mean, but
yeah.
you ain't even talking about paying a tip. Like, we probably wouldn't even get to the point to have that conversation, because then I'm gonna just start putting you in that corner of somebody that I know ain't got no future with. But like, if you just picking up on certain stuff and like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you maybe one time picking it up probably would have been enough for me. But me asking how much you make, I just probably would be asking what you do, and I'd be googling that shit my damn self.
Yeah, that's exactly
right.
what
Just to
I
get
was
a
about to say.
ballpark number.
I'm
Like,
gonna do my
I
research.
don't need.
I'm gonna do my
'cause
research.
I mean,
That's real.
yeah, because I mean, people already know like what they want in a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got an idea of what they want in a man, how much they make, and all that. And shit, I would like to have somebody that's somewhere on my level. So I think it's very important to date within your tax bracket too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
Okay.
that's major.
Yeah,
That's major right there.
that's a bomb right there.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all don't gotta be the same, but hey, I'm telling you, dating within your tax bracket will help a whole lot. It'll
Got
kill
me
a lot.
married.
Yeah, cause I mean, I ain't had it's rare we have financial arguments, but I think a lot of those come from people not having the means. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the means, so they can't afford it.
Moving on, I just want to say I was with Snoop Dogg versus Eminem, but after seeing him jump off that top bunk, Eminem was smoking.
Blew the life out of
What?
me, bro. And them boneless
What?
chucks. Them chucks look
Get
like
it in
they
the
was about to
chucks.
fold. His
But
feet was
no,
on the
did you
top
see?
rope like
See when he almost buckled though. He buckled.
Why is he up there, man? Hey, I get it. He did his thing with the Tyson versus Mike, the commentation. Hey, it was great. That didn't.
Then he came down. He came down on his feet. And
Yeah.
he was still on do his stomach. Like, I was like, "Come on, bro, stop."
We had better form than that as kids.
Bro, hey.
I was just gonna say that. You know, when you a kid and you know it's that one dude that's jumping off the bed, that's
Yeah.
kind of though. Like
Yeah.
that's how it was. Like man was like,
Yeah.
Bro, I swear he regretted it mid-air, bro.
Right.
But in the
He
chucks.
hesitated on the land. My man said, "Hey."
Hey,
Snoop too old to be wearing chucks like that. Anyway, I know his
bro,
ankles be hurting.
Yeah, bro, I get it. I know he icing them things. Like, I get it. You got this reputation of we get you a crib, big crib. But brother, put some. Hey, you about to walk in the sketches, brother. You need some kind of console your
He
feet,
needs some
brother.
orthopedic.
Hey,
He needs
what?
some orthopedic chucks.
He need them Velcro joints.
Hey, man, you better stop chilling. All right. Serious note though, can Smush Parker average 15 points in today's league?
No.
Like what?
No, he can't.
Okay.
No.
I feel like so it's closer than people think. I feel like.
No, it's not.
Bro, I think that you think about it, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I joined when everybody was like, hey, F Russ, the rapper, and he actually made good music. I think I fell with, because I'm riding with Kobe. Hey, the highlight Smush Parker is posting. I was like, damn, did I miss that game? Because bro,
everybody was saying F Rush though is because he a douchebag. That's why also. So I mean, I've watched a few of his interviews. I mean, I watched the one interview where he was on Everyday Struggle, I think, back in the day, and he just came off as a kind of a douchebag and a cornball. Yeah, I mean the same asshole. Yeah, he's
So y'all don't feel like if he playing for somebody like the Knicks, he can't average like 13, 14.
Smush Parker, man.
Yeah, because he gonna get,
I don't even know why is Smush Parker a topic, man.
up there with the ghost.
Bro, he is. I'm about to say, thinking about it, at first it didn't hit me because Kobe had just passed, so I had to let it give it time to resonate. But then when I circle back, and bro was saying that him and Kobe could have been the best backcourt in league history, I had to scratch my head. Was like, shit, these highlights, he's showing what Kobe passing. Bro, I mean, and as a walk-on, bro ain't get drafted. And then, don't let me bring up the D-League stats. Bro was averaging 20 in the D-League.
Oh, it's time to hang up.
Oh, word.
Hang it up.
I see why you say that. I can see why you say that. You know,
That was funny. I like that. Hey, we need a clues ball, Nixon. You need to get one of them clues balls. Because you brought up the D-League stats. I'm like, yeah, we need to drop a bomb.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. When I was trying to Google,
What a flex bomb, man.
when I was trying to Google funny things to talk about for Smush Parker, that's the only thing that came up. I was like, D-League, I can't talk about that. I'm sorry.
He brings up the D-League, man.
That's funny, boy.
Hey, but I will say, Mellow Ball.
Oh, he looking good.
Oh, man.
He's solid.
Yeah.
He's better than his brother.
Yeah, he definitely solid.
Hey, so you saying he better than Lonzo? Okay.
He definitely got outplayed, Bomb.
And honestly, I don't even feel like it's a shortage of talent on either side. I just feel like mentality wise, that would make him better.
Yeah.
Because
he just played carefree.
Right. He played carefree.
And he's better.
Yeah.
He's better.
Hey.
He's better.
Hey, man, I'm still pulling for LiAngelo, man.
Get him in the Pistons. Hey, y'all wrong for that, bro.
Detroit.
He wrong
Cutthroat.
for that.
That's what I'm saying. Detroit, you can't make it in Detroit. No.
My man was a walking buck. Y'all was jealous.
I'm about to say, y'all needed players. That's how you know Detroit just cut. They're like, no, we good, bro.
That's how you know he's sad. Because he got cut and we needed players. That's how you know he's sad.
He was like 6'7", 250.
He low key just slowed down type stuff. Yeah, bro. I mean, I think he got potential to be better than Lonzo if he's given a chance.
No,
that's great. He just was dumb for stealing. He was just dumb for stealing that crap over there in China for no reason.
I was gonna say he might as well go ahead and join the scammers and robbers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Next thing you know, LiAngelo cracking cars, man. That's what he's about to be doing.
Hey, man, his family gonna take care of him, man. But I will say, the Warriors.
Family was taking care of him though when he was out there in China. He just stealing just to be stealing.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
He was trying to fit in.
Stupid.
Yeah. He one of them dudes that just, I mean, family took care of him and everything, and then you still end up looking up and they, banging sets and all that stuff. He's like,
want to be hood.
You chose this.
Right.
You want to be from the hood. You went out your way to choose this.
I'm gonna end up in jail being somebody's girlfriend.
Hey, but the Warriors though.
Yeah.
Y'all last week, everybody was like, I don't know who's gonna make the playoff. It changed? Any tunes changed? I just want to ask.
Okay.
No?
You say any what change?
Any tunes change? I just want to say, do y'all still think we can't get the 8th seed in the West now?
Honestly, bro, I think y'all can squeeze.
Thank you. That's all I want.
I feel like the way they playing and the way everybody else playing, y'all can squeeze.
Bet.
I mean, I said he might be Steph was gonna be a MVP candidate. So I mean, yeah.
But are we gonna get the 8th seed?
I never said. I mean, I said they could get 8th or 7th. You know what I'm saying? But because I mean, it's some teams not playing up to their potential. So, I mean, everybody playing a little crazy right now too.
Yeah,
so
I'm about to say that's
wait till we 30 games in before you talking about the Warriors, because
you still think James Harden walking just to playoff run?
He playing down because he's trying to get up out of there. He came out killing at first, which made his trade value all the way up here. So he had to play a little bit worse. So when they trade him, they don't have to trade the whole kitchen sink. That's what's really going on.
It's a business move.
Yeah, man, he's smart, man.
He started eating a lot of
cancer
for that same exact reason.
And we need some radiation for that cancer.
How he a cancer though? I don't get it. He in the playoffs every year.
And he runs somebody off every year. I've never seen him
they
run
always bring some bum in there. I mean, but look though.
Bum.
All right, who did they bring in? They brought in Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, he was a cancer. He got up out of he messed up that whole situation in Orlando. Then they no. Since you know, because you brought up my dog, so you know I gotta defend my dog.
No, you know you gotta defend James, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So Dwight Howard was a cancer before he got there. Who was the next one? CP3. Everybody hated CP3. Everywhere he go, they hate him. That is a fact.
They don't hate
everywhere he go.
Bro.
But yeah, when they winning, they love him. But once they let them go on a little losing streak, you're gonna start seeing them players on the sidelines rolling their eyes and all that.
But you see James.
when they had when he was in LA and they had DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin.
Okay.
DeAndre Jordan was about to sign with the Mavericks, and Blake was about to get up out of there because he didn't want to because they didn't want to play with dude. They had to come to this man's house and bang on his door to get him to come resign. And then who else? Russ. Look at Russ right now. Look at Russell Westbrook.
Hey, y'all know how I feel about Russ. I don't care about Russ.
Look at him.
Cancer too.
He's terrible. He's terrible now. So none of them dudes is a good example.
I'm about to say CP3. I would say was the best though. Like as far as James Harden is who
and then he got and then he got hurt. Game 7. Exactly. So how that's his fault? How he the cancer?
Yeah, James Harden ruined that man. You can't blame him because James Harden.
Oh yeah, James Harden broke that man's wrist. That's what happened. The same thing that happened to him when they was about to beat the Spurs that one year. Broke his wrist in. I mean, the boy brittle.
Let's face it, bro. James playing style don't fit a lot of players, bro. Like a lot of top tier players. Like, yeah, you'll win games and shit. But like Kobe said it the best. Like, you ain't finna win no championship playing like that, bro.
He'll win a lot of MVPs and scoring titles.
But none of them other dudes won a championship playing that way. Dwight Howard had to go sit at the bottom of the bench to get a ring.
This is true, but Dwight Howard been a bum though, so I mean.
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Well, y'all said he was a cancer, so I brought all the players that they created the teams around.
You said 2 cancers.
They all wasn't.
I mean, you just added.
CP3 was a cancer.
I mean, I wouldn't say he was
a cancer.
He was benign, if anything.
He was benign, right?
CP3 was a cancer, and all his teams. He's a winner. CP3 is a winner, just like James Harden is a winner. But they teammates usually hate either watching them play or hate how they do that player coach shit the whole damn game. Everybody, all of us have hooped one time before. Right. We all hate that one dude that take the game way too serious and can't just play basketball. They gotta tell you exactly, hey, go here, go there, move. That one dude, everybody hates Kelvin that dude.
He ain't here.
Oh shit,
hey, Kelvin. You know what I'm saying? Kelvin does that, but nah, I ain't even talking about Kelvin. Obviously, he talking about you, Kelvin.
Hey,
y'all see who really threw the shot.
He about to be an eBay. It's like,
you're gonna be like, these motherfuckers.
But okay, explain the Russ Harden situation then. How come that? Because they was friends.
Why I gotta explain it? Look at what he doing now.
Huh?
I do think if Russ could have contributed half as many triple doubles, and not even about just being consistent in scoring. That's my thing. I get shooters shoot. Yeah, I get shooters shoot.
But he ain't
what was Russ doing?
If he could have not shot 50% from the free, what point guard shooting in the 50s and 60s from the free throw line? Like, that's a problem. On top of that, they added him to a team that was shooting threes all game. And this man shooting like 20%. I think he shot like 27% from 3. That is terrible. He's terrible, man.
So, like before on paper, I thought it would help because you think they were just going to isolate. And I thought Russ being quick as he could, he can break them down, get in the lane, then pass it out. But Russ was just like, you know what? Forget drive. I'll do this step back.
He's gonna be a legend, but I mean, he's not a winner. He's not a winner. He is not a winner. He only care about stats.
So how y'all feel about Kyrie sitting out?
Kyrie what?
Oh my God.
He's sitting
out.
So
we talked about because
at first he was saying they're saying that he's choosing to sit out because they were saying it's for personal reasons, but the personal reason because individuals stormed the Capitol. So
yeah.
So he's sitting out.
He's sitting out because of that?
Yeah. So he's missed 4 games straight now. I mean, he's taking his role and standing up behind, trying to be that person.
I mean, all right, cool. That I don't even mind that. I guess if he said, my only issue was dude didn't even tell his coaches or nothing. He just started ignoring his phone. And then, I mean, if you're gonna take a stand, why you not letting people know that everybody just thought you was being a diva like usually? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like that's the part that I ain't get. But since we talking about all these the protests, I'm not gonna get into the Capitol thing, but I am gonna get into how the NBA and all them was reacting to it. Why was like that. Why was they doing their displays
Shit.
like that? Like the Bucks and Pistons game, like they did tip off, and both teams soon after tip off took a
When
knee
they took that
and
knee,
did like a. I was like, what is this? Like,
Oh,
and then they can.
It's
My
COVID.
thing is, yeah, like everybody just took a knee, and they took a knee. On the tip off, the Bucks got the tip off. They took a knee, and then the Pistons, of course, had the ball next, and they took a knee, and then they just continued the damn game. I was like, dog, y'all love doing empty ass displays of like solidarity. Like, what did that do? What did that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, even the taking a knee thing is got like, I don't like it no more because when none of these dudes standing with Cap when he or kneeling with Cap when he was doing it. And now that it's become like okay to do, not everybody want to do it. Like, nah,
popular now.
stand your mark ass up like you've been doing for the last 2 and 3 years, and go play basketball or football, because that's what's important to you. And I don't think nobody should blame you for doing it, but don't try to act like now you taking a knee because you know what I'm saying you kneeling for something or you standing for something. Like, bro, y'all wasn't doing it when it was a hot topic. Y'all did it when people told you it was okay to do it. You know what I'm saying? People y'all rallying against them, the ones who told you like, oh, we okay with y'all taking a knee now, all because they seen some wild stuff and seen that, oh, maybe Cap was right. Y'all ain't none of y'all came back and even said nothing about Cap. Cap probably back in the he probably at his crib shaking his head like, you motherfuckers,
Hey, question. Do
benefiting
y'all
off
think y'all
of
could have
having
did
it
what
back.
Cap did? Because
Man,
I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was brought up like Cap really threw away, like he was really like, nah, none of this matter. The money, the endorsement deals, all this to stand up for a cause. I'm not gonna lie, brother. Like, I think I would have followed one of y'all. But if y'all was looking for me to take the stance, I don't think that would have happened. We'd have just been talking about it like, hey, bro, I'm probably next week I'll kneel. But y'all gonna do it with me. But if you was to
I
tell
don't
me,
know.
I don't feel like I'm my bad. I don't feel like the
good.
Cap even knew what was finna happen, bro. Like,
okay,
real, like I feel like
Yeah.
Cap was on the thing where he just was living in the moment in a way, and he was just kind of like, yo, like this is how I feel, and I'm finna do this. Like, I don't care about none of that. And then when it started happening, he was like, oh, well, I'm in the fire now. Like,
yeah,
I can't turn back now. If we being real, like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like that's how he was, because any rational person gonna take a second guess. Everybody not Malcolm X. Like, let's just be real, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, everybody feel a certain type of way, and not saying I would or wouldn't, because I feel like it's just based upon that situation and how you feeling in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But you gon' second guess, because that's it's all sweet until you lose some stuff and you got some people not talking to you, getting some death threats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hard until something happens. So it's easy to say, but I don't know. That's why I say I don't know. With all that said, I love the rah-rah. Like, I'm with it, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
definitely feel you.
I'm more of a background type of guy.
That's real.
Hey,
That's real.
brother,
Spineless people. Look
hey,
at y'all.
I'm with you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Y'all so spineless. Look at
I understand.
I'm with.
I'm just saying, brother.
Making them hashtag. I'm with Cap.
I am who I am.
I'm with Cap.
I'm with Cap.
All of
I'm
y'all.
just saying.
Say their names. That's what y'all say.
Whoa, we're
Now
not
that it's
gonna do
cool
that,
to
though.
say. Now that it's
Hey,
cool
we
to
ain't gonna
say.
do
Now
that,
y'all say their name. No, I'm for it. Like, that's what. Like, I'm not gonna say, even we joking and stuff, but I don't even know if I would have done it. But I don't think. I just I just don't know how. I don't know. Like what you said. I don't think he knew how much it was gonna blow up. And if he knew that, I don't know if he would or wouldn't have. And I mean, I think maybe he would have thought to do something else to be just as seen, but maybe not lose his career. But at the same time, like, you gotta commend him for what he did.
Yeah.
So and I
Without a
don't care what
doubt.
nobody say. Yeah, I don't care what nobody say. You can like it. Yeah, and that's one thing that's been like kind of the hardest thing being in the military these past few years, because everybody got their opinion on it, but I'm the arguing person, so I done got myself caught up in plenty of arguments over it, because it's like people only care about it once everybody else tell you to care. You know what I'm saying? That's the weak part about society in general. And that's what pissed me off with the military kind of was, you know what I'm saying, when the George Floyd thing happened, then everybody took a step back and thought like, dang, maybe this is going on. And like, we've been telling you this for how long? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So y'all had to see it on camera. But
This is
to be
America.
fair, yeah, to be fair, you know, perception is reality. So a lot of them they ain't never been around black people or black, you know what I'm saying, communities or none of that. So in their community, they don't see people getting beat on and brutalized and stuff. So that their reality is that that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But my only thing is now with Google and all of that stuff and YouTube, you could have took 2 seconds out of your day and Googled that stuff and seen plenty. You know what I mean? So that's been my only issue with it. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if I could. That's why I don't let nobody do all the no cap slander. Cause I mean, regardless of what when he started doing it or the you know, some people are, oh, he lost his job. And I don't care, bro, because he would have still been in the league had he not done it, but he still did it. And he stood tall on it when they were still trying to make him, you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know what I'm saying, conform. When they were trying to get him to conform and kind of dangle a job, he wouldn't allow it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part you got to respect, because he could have just easily folded and been like, all right, I'm not gonna do this, and made everybody look stupid and everybody that was with you look stupid. So that's the part that if you can't respect that, then I mean obviously I don't care about your opinion anyway.
Do y'all think have y'all been following the WNBA as far as the Dream owner situation?
Yeah, she was a senator.
Yes.
What was it, Loeffler, I think was her
Yeah,
name.
Kelly Loeffler. Like, do
Yeah.
y'all think? Well, I'm not gonna say do y'all think she's wrong, because I mean she definitely could win. So basically, what she did during the whole bubble situation, how the WNBA act and they took the stand, she wrote a letter to the WNBA saying like basically they think they're doing too much. Like basically it shouldn't be more politics in basketball. It should be less of it. And they think they're bringing like too much light to the situation, because she was trying to say that there's two Black Lives Matter groups, like one that's peaceful and one that's like destroy stuff basically. And the players didn't take that well at all.
I just find it interesting when people have so much knowledge on things like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Not that I'm a fan of them or anything like that. I'm a fan of the idea that Black Lives Matter, but the group I'm not necessarily that informed on what their initiatives and stuff are, so I can't say what they do. But I just find it convenient that, you know, a lot of the people, you know what I'm saying, especially the less, let's say, non-black people who have a negative opinion on Black Lives Matter, they have so many opinions on them, but then there are hate groups within their you know, ethnicities and, you know, culture and stuff that they, you know, turn a blind eye to, you know, religiously. You know what I'm saying? People who, you know, these people have infiltrated, you know, plenty of different parts of the government, you know what I'm saying, the medical system, the, you know, legal system and all that. And but everybody know any black person that protests, now they're a part of Black Lives Matter. And that's the part where I be like, y'all kill me, bro. Y'all quick to lump us into one group, but you know what I'm saying, if we say, hey, this might be a little racing, it's like, oh, don't pull the race card, but you just threw me in a hole. If I walked around and said, hey, y'all need to treat black people better, and I went to a protest and y'all gonna call it a Black Lives Matter protest, you know what I'm saying? And then if something get violent and a bunch of black people protesting, then they're automatically a Black Lives Matter protest. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part that gets me.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, because I see LeBron talked about wanting to buy. I put a group together, try to buy the team, but she said she ain't selling. So, shit, I'm here. Y'all want to deal with me? Y'all got to deal with me.
Yeah, man. Honestly, bro, I'm curious to see like people's reaction with like, okay, we had Black Lives Matter opinions, right? And then now I know we're not going to talk about the Capitol, but then we got this situation that happened. Like, and then, you know, Biden did say like, oh shoot, if it was Black Lives Matter people, they would have been shot. So I'm curious to see like what type of logic people gonna form in their head when they like, oh, Black Lives Matter they're looters and stuff like that, but you got a clear example on the other side. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm real curious to see how people react to that.
Because I definitely think it's more to come with those situations.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely think it's just getting started.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It better be.
Yeah, definitely.
Got my popcorn.
yeah,
Yep.
my popcorn.
It one thing it has been interesting because I know we're gonna get in this capital stuff at some point, but it has been it's been fun not watching you know, this type of stuff. Not fun, but it's been interesting to see like something like that happen, and you can't blame black people at all in the situation. It's just
like, finally.
you know what I'm saying? We just all sitting back watching, like, dang, these people really wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they put all of any type of Black Lives Matter or any type of protest for, you know, equality, you know, from black people. That stuff get plastered on the front page as soon as it get violent. You know what I'm saying? But like, and there's been plenty of situations where it wasn't black people and that stuff did not make the front page. I mean, that one dude just blew up a building and nobody even batted an eye about it, like not too long ago. So this situation,
twisted teeth.
right?
Hey,
Exactly.
You know, that's the only person that can save us, man.
You feel me? So it's been interesting to see like how people react now, because everybody, it's the saddest day in our country and this and that.
Been sad for a while.
Yeah, okay.
Been sad for a while.
No, you go tell my great grandfather that it's the saddest day in y'all in American history. Okay, but yeah.
I'm about to say, before we wrap it up, TJ, plug with some food, brother. Tell us where they can find you at so they can go look, because like I said, you wasn't cooking like that when I was there, but I mean,
Yeah,
the growth, I guess.
Been honing in on my skills. My Instagram is chef__TJ. That's where you can find me. You can book me. I do whatever.
What you do? Like meal preps with all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, do it all. I do it all.
I bet that, my God. And he got the sea moss on deck that he still ain't told me how much the shipping is, but we'll talk about that next episode. We'll keep it going. 2 episodes.
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, I guess so. But all right, man. Again, appreciate y'all stopping through. Conversation as always been great. Yeah. Lock in. My guys.
Man, love y'all.